just finished off a weekend series win against Tulane. Looking forward to traveling to Corpus Christi and then hosting Memphis in a 3-game series this weekend. Coach, if you want to start us off with an opening statement.
Yeah, it was a good weekend. We've had some sweeps, but 2 out of 3 against a tough team is always good. So we were pleased with the weekend.
Go ahead, Sean.
Coach, you've achieved your 4th consecutive 30-win season, obviously a lot more ahead, but how significant is that milestone and just the consistency that you've established here over time?
It's a nice milestone. We've got bigger goals, I think. But yeah, I read something that it was the second time, I guess, in program history that we've done that here at UTSA. So we're proud of that and looking for some more wins, hopefully.
John, you can keep going.
Coach, your offense is in the top numbers in the nation in so many different categories. How pleased are you with your offensive performance and what really has been the key to the success offensively?
Yeah, we're pleased. Coach Aguayo's done a great job. He's a big part of that. And then the players obviously are the ones that are producing. So wouldn't happen without those guys. But they work hard. I think on game day sometimes it looks easier than it is. Certainly Saturday it might have been one of those times. It's not that easy to hit. Those pitchers are throwing hard. It's a little round ball and a round bat, as they say. But a lot of hard work goes into it. A lot of preparation as well. Just looking at the other team's pitchers and playing matchups and just preparing our hitters for that. But at the end of the day, it's all about the hitters. It's all about the players that are in the box doing the work. So we are pleased with it. There's more work to do. We actually can improve. They're still in that bat here and there, and hitting is so cyclical that sometimes people aren't hitting right. But I think the key, to answer the second part of your question, the key is our depth. We've talked about it before. We are deep offensively, so that helps. It doesn't always mean it has to be a Mason Lytle or the same guy every time. The depth of our offense is nice.
Go ahead, Jerry.
Yeah. Good morning, Coach. I wanted to ask you a little about Norris McClure. Norris got off to a pretty good start in February. A little bit of a swoon, I guess, in March, but in April, I hope my numbers are correct here, but I've got him 21 for 41 this month with 20 RBIs and then 4 home runs in his last 5 games. Just wanted to ask you about just kind of the way his season has gone this year. The fast start, a little bit of a bump of the road in March, and now what he's been doing lately. What have you seen from Norris?
Yeah, it's kind of typical of good hitters, right? Like mostly he hits, but hitting's not that easy. So he had a little dip there, but that's not that uncommon even for talented players like Norris. But again, it gets back to the hard work that Norris puts in and the belief in his coaches, specifically Coach Aguayo. They do a lot of extra work like all the hitters do. Norris is part of that. So he got a little rushed a little bit. When you see the numbers dipped, he was just getting a little anxious, a little rushed. And then as soon as the production dips, hitters tend to get a little bit of anxiety creeps in and emotion. So he's gotten back to where he's taken some of that emotion out of the at-bat, which is what we try to do. Very emotionless hitters make better decisions. So it's just kind of a theme of ours. And lately he's been doing a good job of that. So we will persist, and he will persist, and hopefully it continues.
Jerry.
What do you think about the home run power just lately? I know 4 in his last 5 games. He had 2 in his last game in 1 inning. But what about the power stroke? Did you think that would develop this year eventually like this, or what do you think about just the resurgence of his power stroke?
Oh, I don't want to act like I knew it would come, Jerry, but I did know it was in there. Just watching the athlete. He's a very twitchy athlete. I've asked Norris this question. I'm not sure how he ended up at the Division II program out of high school, because he's so twitchy and so athletic. He's wired like a Division I athlete. He can dunk a basketball. They tell me he can 360 dunk. I don't know if I believe him, but he is a very athletic kid, which is where some of that power comes from, that twitch. Power in hitting is not always about size. It's sometimes about the twitch and the ability to move the bat, and that's what Norris has. Although he's not small, he's a fairly big kid, but his power comes from his athleticism and his twitchiness and his bounce and all those positive traits that he's been gifted with. So I'm not surprised by the power, but at the same time, it's just difficult to do when you're making that jump from Division II to Division I. So I wasn't certain it would come out this season, and I wish we had him longer, but it is his last year. But we did know the power was in there. Very happy for Norris. He's a fun kid to coach too, so really excited for him.
Sean?
Coach Jordan Bain, as a local kid who's come in as a freshman, is one of the best in the country and getting on base. What makes him so successful at the plate and finding a way to get on?
Well, his pitch recognition swing decision, we call PRSD, his PRSD is off the charts for a young player. And then again, the emotionless at-bats where it just leads to good decisions. That all kind of ties in together, is not letting emotion cause a bad decision in terms of pitch selection. And that generally takes time. We usually see it, when I say we, I'm talking about Coach Aguayo and I, we usually see those strides being made in year 2. And then in year 3, it's even better, and on and on and on. But Jordan walked in the door with this presence about him and this maturity about him that allows him to make those very good swing decisions. It's very unique at his age and his experience level that he's that calm and that skilled at those swing decisions. So I'm happy he's on our team. Another very different than Norris, but another fun kid to coach.
Go ahead, Sean.
Coach, you have Corpus Christi and Memphis this week. Just your thoughts on facing them and what challenges you expect to see.
Corpus over there is always a unique game. It reminds me a little bit usually of when teams come to play us, because the field is a factor. You get a South Texas field, generally warmer weather with the wind blowing, and the field can get pretty hard. So you need tough people on that infield. It might be an odd topic, but people don't like coming in here and playing on our infield, which we embrace. I hope we embrace it. I think we do. And it'll be similar over there. The field will be hard and fast, and sometimes it can be a little dangerous even. But you got to embrace it and enjoy it and accept that challenge. There'll be some hits that scoot through that infield that maybe on other infields would be slow enough for defenders to make the plays. So, and Scott Malone's a terrific coach. He knows all that. I don't think he talks about it as much, but he'll stack his lineup with guys that can play into that field for his offense. So they're a much better team at home. Their offense really goes at home because he plays into that field. So our toughness needs to be in place to get over there and get a win. And then we have looked at Memphis a little bit. We had the longer weekend to look at them, and it looks like their Friday night starter is really tough. He's got an ERA 3.5, so it's got to be one of the best ERAs in the league. And he pitched the game last year that they beat us. So we've got some work in front of us for Memphis as well.
Caps, you got anything for us?
Yes, sir, quite a bit. First of all, Pat, congratulations on winning that series. The game Sunday was just outrageous, and I love games like that. I love calling games like that. I want you've talked about some of the guys who were really, really tremendous, but I thought Diego Diaz got in the middle of that fray as good as anybody did. And it was good for me to see him do that because we saw him play very well last year. If you can talk a little bit about him, obviously he didn't get the playing time he would like to have, I'm sure, but I just thought that whole game was wild as it gets.
It was. Rylan, I know you're on this call. You're probably a little worried about me right now. Rylan asked me the same question Saturday about Diego, and I got a little emotional because I love Diego. Great kid. Happy for him. he's handled the lack of playing time like a champion. So I could not be happier for Diego. And I look for great things from him. He's just getting warmed up. So looking forward to what he can do.
And what happens, and I think all of us recognize this, when you start to have big innings, time after time after time, it goes back to that old saying, hitting is contagious, as is everything else in this game.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Again, I can't say enough about Coach Aguayo. He gets these guys ready and prepared. So, I think hopefully there's no surprises. That doesn't always mean you're going to succeed, but a lot of the credit, at least for the preparation of it, goes to Coach Aguayo. And then, like we mentioned, the hitters are doing a good job. Just the very calm at bats. I feel like we have hitting talent. Obviously, we do. It's probably an understatement, but the calmer we can stay in that batter's box, the better we're going to be. And that's not as easy as it sounds. People especially at their age, but even us old guys, we get emotional and we want to succeed so bad. And you see it in young hitters, and sometimes that emotion does not help. So it's a long game, it's a long season, and one at bat of not succeeding does not mean you're not a good hitter. And so this is the way we talk, and the hitters have really embraced that, and you saw it kind of come out in Saturday's game. We just kept putting a good swing on a good pitch, and then the wind had something to do with it too. You get them up in that wind, and it'll go. But I'm very proud of the guys' maturity at the plate Saturday.
Go ahead, Ron.
Coach, not too many injuries so far this season. Obviously, you had the injury with JT early on, and then you had Ty. A little bit of an issue with Caden Miller. How confident are you in your depth of this ball club, and how does that assist you in making postseason runs?
Yeah, we've talked about it before. We are deep. We can put some other hitters in there like Moresi, he's got his own injuries he's dealing with, and he couldn't quite finish the game Saturday. But there's other depth too, with Cade Sadler and so many guys. Brock Palmer hasn't got to play a lot. He's another one that's played here a little bit lately and done a good job. So, yeah, we are pleased with the depth. It is a factor now. You mentioned Caden's injury, and Caden's been so productive at getting on base, just like Bain, and he's hit for a little power too. So, we're better with Caden back in the lineup, but we're going to be okay. I hope we don't get any more injuries, but we are deep. So for now, we're okay.
All righty. I think that'll wrap things up. Thank y'all for joining. Nice weekend.
Thanks, guys.
Coach.